of the day, and this is what we are pulsing you on this morning. So the Financial and Fiscal Commission has recommended that National Treasury add some new sources to the list of allowable taxes for South Africans to try and assist SARS in reaching their target. So among those is something called an amusement tax, and this is about being taxed for eating out or going to the movies, all sorts of amusement. So what do you feel? How do you feel about being taxed for eating out or going to the movies? Please do tell us what your view would be on that. And we're not saying it's going to happen, but this was one of the recommendations put forward. How would you feel about that in terms of helping the fiscus by paying more, being taxed more for eating out or going to the movies? At Morning Live SABC, that's our Twitter handle. Facebook, we're on Morning Live SABC, and please use the hashtag Morning Live as well. Can't wait to see your responses. And as usual, I know I don't have to prompt too much. I know you will elaborate on why you feel the way you do on this particular question, as you always do. So do let us know. All right, that's our question of the day, and we'll share some of your sentiments after 8. For now, though, let's take a look at what's making headlines in the newspapers. And we start with The Citizen this morning. And The Citizen's lead story, exactly that. What next is what they are asking. Fun tax, this is of course our question. A proposal to Parliament moots extra taxes on your entertainment as government looks to taxpayers again to make up the SARS shortfall. So that's the lead story, and you can read more about that on page 3 of today's Citizen. Some of the other stories they go into is, of course, Gupta's wanted a royal welcome. The controversial brothers insisted on a red carpet at OR Tambo, and they wanted this on the tarmac, as explained to the Zondo Commission yesterday by the former Transport Minister Ben Martins. Also, taxman is coming for your rent. SARS taking a tough stance if you dodge declaring rental income, and Zim pays Eskom but still owes. And the electricity giant has proof that 138 million rand went into its account. So those are some of the stories you can look forward to in today's Citizen. Moving along, the next paper that we take a look at is, of course, The Star. Some interesting stories here as well. Their lead, row over Bushiri's cop guard. Now, alleged abuse of crucial state resources at the Church for Profit has irked colleagues in the SAPS. The abuse of state resources to protect self-proclaimed prophet Shepherd Bushiri have triggered an outcry from SAPS members, raising questions about why a private citizen is receiving police protection. And according to the police's plan, SAPS and the Tshwane Metro Police Department officers were to work jointly with a private company which was expected to deploy about 96 personnel. And reasons the police gave in their plan for the operation, among others, was that the ECG was under possible threat by community members who live around the event center and oppose the church. And then on that front page, also a picture of Angelo Agrizzi. Remember, he was fined 200,000 rand for using the K word. And here's a picture of him, the former chief operations officer and whistleblower. And he was visiting the Tabisong Daycare Center in Alexandra yesterday as part of the settlement ordered by the court last month. And holding a little black child there. I guess that's the mandatory picture that needed to happen. Durban, July at risk of shutdown. Excuse me, and that's supposed to take place this weekend. But of course, this could be under threat following a union affiliated to the Phumelela Gaming and Leisure threatening to shut down the event. And at the bottom there, the PIC inquiry, another union has added its voice to calls for the PIC to shape up. That's The Star. Moving on to Business Day. EFF could paralyze Joburg and Tshwane. And Malema says that his party will no longer cooperate with either the ANC or the DA in municipalities. Not going to belabor that much. Godrich Gadi coming in, so we'll ask him about that. And of course, EOH sells 70% of its German unit for 444 million. And also Truworth Slumps as venture in the UK faces a big debt repayment. And then taking a look at Sowetan this morning, and their top story, a 5,000 rand to dine TV star who's now been dubbed South Africa's Hugh Hefner. A mad rush to be Mselegu's number 5. The idea of dinner with the famed polygamist was sparked by women texting him, offering their hand in marriage to become number 5. And also Tsotsi's make off with 3 million rand in SASSA payouts. And then there's a story on page 2 of old mum giving birth in the street. Really heartbreaking story of a woman in Mamelodi who was turned away from the Stanza Bopape clinic as the nurses said she was too old to give birth at 45 and was therefore high risk. And she literally had to walk out of the facility and gave birth on the pavement right outside the clinic. So one would expect that there would be an inquiry here and hopefully heads would roll. And then red ants lose their bite. This, of course, happened yesterday. So they have been suspended by CIRA and also Chief Sign overseas players. That's a back page story for you in today's Sowetan. Right, that's what's making headlines in the newspapers. We are going to take a quick break, and on the other side of that, we'll get on with some of the interviews that we have planned.